We are gonna go ahead and, just kidding.
I was going to.
Hi, welcome to today's board meeting. Do we have any public comments on closed session?
We do not.
Sorry, I saw the no and I was like,
Not a problem.
just kidding. So there's no comments on closed session agenda items, so we're gonna go ahead and recess to closed session. All right, we're gonna go ahead and recall the open session. There's nothing to report from closed session. Can we go ahead and stand for the pledge of allegiance? Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My apologies, I forgot to do a roll call prior to closed session. So, Ms. Laura, would you mind doing the roll call, please?
Member CSO and member Ford are both absent. Thank you. Member Lamb?
Here.
Member Roscoe?
Here.
Member Pretty? I'm here. Member Quilty?
Here.
And President Donnie?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sorry about that. Are there any requests for agenda reorganization? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and start with student reports.
Good evening, board members and audience. We've been very busy and having lots of fun. This week, we're getting super ready for prom, which is on Saturday. We started our prom heating and voting this week. We have 3 couples running. We're also having the Spirit Week. Yesterday was Monday Blues. Today was Tropical Tuesday. Tomorrow's tie versus tie-dye. Thursday is Twin Tails. And then Friday is Sharks versus Minnows, where the Sharks upperclassmen, Minnows underclassmen wear colors. This week's World Prom theme is Trip to Atlantis, so it's all very sea themed. Today I want to congratulate all of our amazing seniors for putting in so much hard work and getting into so amazing schools. We have seniors attending UC San Diego, Stanford, Berkeley, Santa Cruz, Cal Poly SLO, University of Oregon, and many other excellent trade schools and universities. I want to do a huge shout out to Minreet Baines, who got accepted into Columbia, Stanford, Yale, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC San Diego, UC Berkeley, and many other schools. She's such a hard worker and we're so proud of her. We held a Hawker Olympics last Friday, where students and staff competed against each other in track and field events such as discus, hurdles, and relay races. It was lots of fun. And then we also held a multicultural day where student-run clubs performed dances at lunch. It was lots of fun as well. And then the following Friday, we held a food fair where student clubs and organizations sold food and drinks to our student population and the public. It was really well received. Baseball, volleyball, track, softball, swim, golf, and tennis have been doing fantastic. Our spring sports are going very well this season. And we have a track meet tomorrow at home. Junior Jewel Perry has beat the school record for the varsity girl 200 meter for a new run of 25.78 seconds. She's doing a really good job this season. As well as sophomore Nia, who has beat the freshman sophomore record for the high jump, where she cleared the 5-1 high jump bar. That's all. I hope you guys have an amazing night. So
Thank you. Where can I ask where your prom is?
it's at the 530 Event Center. Yeah.
What's your theme?
Trip to Atlantis. So it's very like ocean-y and really nice. Yeah.
Awesome,
Sounds like
thank you.
fun.
So we'll go ahead and move on to staff recognition.
Thank you. HR is pleased to welcome Mr. Koch to present our CARE program and recipients for this month.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, staff, and audience members tonight. It's nice to see everybody. We're excited to recognize some exceptional district staff who help our culture here in Yuba City strive for excellence and achieve excellence. We know recognizing our employees helps with overall productivity and retention, and encourages improvement and our morale across the district. And it shows respect and helps build trust. All of which helps make a positive impact on our students who are our customers. And it helps us achieve our mission statement of preparing the foundation for each student to build tomorrow's world. So with that, I'm excited tonight to pass the podium over to our maintenance director, Director Mark Button, who's presenting a couple awards for some outstanding staff members under his supervision. Director Button.
Thank you. Good evening, board members and audience. So we have actually two employees we're going to recognize tonight, Terry Camber and Jose Origa. And I'd like to have them both come up as they go through at the same time. Because a lot of the stuff's similar. They're both doing the same job, a lot of similarities, but they definitely are our HVAC team. And they work together all the time. So the district's very fortunate that we have a very strong maintenance team, and these two individuals are very much part of that. So they're responsible, they're actually HVAC maintenance specialists, and they're responsible for all the mechanical equipment in the district-wide. So just to give you some idea of the bearings of that, we have 1.3 million square feet of conditioned air in the district. And we also have over 2,500 mechanical units, and that's not counting the responsibilities we have for maintaining the kitchen equipment. And then out of that, right now, our main calls that come in for work orders is HVAC. And that's, we have about 80% of our calls are dealing with HVAC issues. So these two gentlemen deal with all that. So they have a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders, and they do an excellent job with it. They have the experience and the training to make sure our buildings operate efficiently. They're able to troubleshoot a lot of problems, so we're not calling outside contractors. And that does save the district a lot of money. And they're also able to make the repairs. They work together as a team, they work individually to go out there and deal with problems. And on some days, like when temperatures goes up, they are running all over the district. But our response time is actually pretty good. They get out there, they prioritize and get out there pretty quick and deal with the issues. Especially considering we have a lot of older equipment out there. And it's been maintained very well. We're currently doing an audit of our equipment, and even the contractors are doing an audit, making comments how well we're maintaining our systems, and that's because of these two individuals. So, you know, they've also helped a lot, even how we're moving forward in our long-term planning. You know, they give me information on our mechanical equipment, what needs replaced, what doesn't need replaced, so they're a big part of my long-range plan on even the equipment that we're buying for the school district. So we're very fortunate to have both of them as working for the district. Like I said, they're excellent, they work hard, and they're definitely making environments better for the students, teachers, and all the staff. So,
You can give me your awards, I need to take a picture of the three of you, please.
this is, where's that? This here it is.
Should mark them so you didn't give them to your own people.
I read it first.
Terry, if I stand next to you.
I got that.
I read this. Smile and more. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hard work right there.
Awesome, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the agenda, but you guys are welcome to stay or leave if you'd like, okay? At any time. All right, so moving on, are there any comments from public on items on our agenda?
There were not any?
Awesome, so they want to move on to consent agenda. Any questions? No? If not, can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
On a motion by member Lamb and a second by member Orozco, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none, motion carries. All right. I'm sorry, what?
Next thing was.
Did I? No?
Yeah,
Oh.
you skipped the no.
How do you vote?
Went straight to hearing none.
I need
No
to go
choices.
home. I need to sleep. Sorry about that. Any, opposed? Any abstain? Okay, hearing none, motion carries. I'm sorry. Okay, action items, 12A, expulsion, suspended contracts, and readmission case recommendations.
I make a motion, and we accept this discussed in closed session.
I'll second that.
On a motion by member Quilty and a second by member Pretty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 12B, BR 2324,
Yes.
034, resolution.
Just a quick on this, annually, we bid out our contracts, and so that is what Chelsea Slattery has done for the Department of Student Nutrition. And so, which is the resolution with basically the lowest bid on each of some of our main purchasing agreements.
Any questions? Can I get a motion?
Move that we approve.
I'll second.
Okay, on a motion by member Pretty and a second by member Quilty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 12C, bus camera system replacement.
So this explanation really applies to C and D, and also a few things on the consent agenda. As you recall, in 22-23, we had some supplemental and concentration fund carryover into this current year. And these items are in the LCAP, or not specifically, but contributions towards our transportation system are. And these are really the specifics that the Director of Transportation has worked with her staff to identify really the needs out there. And one is they continue to replace our aging buses, and then also some of the equipment. And so anyways, this is a bus camera system that will provide a lot of benefits, safety for our students in our transportation department.
Is this the installed price?
It has, we tried to put the equipment and the licensing at the bottom on the staff report. And then the third-party installation, we estimated an amount there. We don't know exactly the exact cost of that yet, but we have about $42,000 set aside for estimated installation costs. For a total cost for everything of $209,000.
Any questions? Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve.
Second.
A motion by member Pretty and a second by member Lamb. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 12D, purchase of 2 replacement buses.
So again, 2 replacement buses, total cost, this is under a piggyback bid, so it has been publicly bid out to public agencies. And this is 2 special education buses, $385,000. And again, this is starting the cycle of replacing aging buses. We'd like to do 2 or 3 a year to keep up. So
I have a question.
Yep.
So there's a lot of grants that are out there for buses, and I mean, I'm not an expert on which kind of buses qualify for those particular grants, but are we able to offset some of the costs with grant money?
So not for this, but I will tell you, we are, I just got back from a council conference, and I know Julie has really implemented really programs towards electric buses. So that's the next wave in busing, and we're actually required to get there by 2035. So we need to start working on that. Now I will tell you, it's not a perfect solution. And what I mean by that, you can't just go 100% buses electric, but a lot of districts are going 1/3 to half of their fleet in electric buses. And so I can't tell you, we're not far down the road on this one yet, but
infrastructure in place.
well, so there's a new grant coming out here in May that is really talks grant money available for infrastructure and for busing. So this is where, again, I don't have enough details to give you an intelligent idea about the whole program yet, but we're looking into pursuing grant funding and consulting to help us figure out a plan for this district.
I have a busing question.
Yeah.
Do we have enough bus drivers for the buses we have?
Well, not for our entire fleet, but we have enough buses and drivers for our routes right now. We have a number of buses that are just old and we have to surplus, so that's a whole different story. We're still working on increasing our drivers. I don't know exactly the number, but I think you probably need another 5 or 6 to get closer. And actually, if you want, we do have our Director of Transportation in the audience. You could probably answer that question a little bit better.
Well, my main reason for concern is, when we're looking at enrollment, which is what drives our funding.
Yeah.
Do we have the ability to get the kids to school who want to come to school but may not have a way to get there? So do we have enough drivers and buses to increase routes or whatever if kids need to be picked up?
My understanding right now is we are servicing all the applications that are coming in, but I'm giving a head nod from the
Okay.
That's
there.
correct, with a few scattered in some kind of isolated areas that would be having to create a whole route, adding a whole driver for maybe 1 or 2 students. So we're trying to, we recognize those students and we're adding them into existing routes. And to answer the question about the amount of drivers that we have to supply or to offer additional routing as students come in, we have positions available for about 4 drivers. So with that being said, we are servicing all of the requested areas for the applications that have come in. So we are sitting pretty nice right now, and nobody is being denied or not being able to be offered transportation due to lack of drivers at this time.
4 will get us a more efficient route, shorter, bus lines, that kind of
So I was
stuff.
just, because it's that whole picture
I
thing.
think it's gonna be a while before we get back to pre-COVID.
We're getting there. We're getting there though. Yeah, we made a lot of progress over the last 18 months. Yeah.
Good.
No, I'm not negating that, I'm just saying I think it's gonna be a little bit before we get back to pre-COVID.
Oh, attendance and
And
stuff.
yeah, like everything,
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Not quite there. Okay, so are there any other questions? No, can I get a motion on 12D?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I'll second that motion.
On a motion by member Quilty and a second by member Roscoe, can I get all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 12E, Form J13.
Yeah, so this is we're requesting an exemption that really allows us to capture or not really be penalized for lack of attendance during power outages that happened in February. And so by submitting this, it will essentially increase our funding rate for our local control funding formula by not really penalizing us for the schools that were closed due to the power outage.
It'll also not make up those days. Right?
Yes, yes.
That schools would not have.
That's true. We do need 180 days. So.
Any questions?
I'll move that we approve.
I'll second that motion.
On a motion by member Pretty, second by member Roscoe, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 12F, purchase of new server cluster from CDW Sourcewell.
These are network upgrades. Also, interestingly enough, somewhat associated with the power outage. We had some problems with our network, and this is, I think it took out one of our servers. I'm not going to pretend to be able to speak to that too well, but anyways, this is basically getting our the equipment necessary for our network to be up and going, and also have backup capabilities.
This has come up like a couple of times on the last so many agendas. Any questions? No? Good. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
On a motion by member Roscoe, second by member Quilty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 13, board reports, information, discussion. Any committees or anything? No, schools, charter schools?
I attended Twin Charter School board meeting, and I apologize, I left one of my documents on my printer office, but they're being recognized for 3rd year in a row for a certain award, a distinguished school. I don't recall what that was called, but that's that. I know ADA was hitting at 97% and some change for the month of March, and They are right now in the process of state testing this week. And there was something else. They were also working on amending some policies for policies and procedures for personal conduct in school. That's it. It was actually kind of mirrored our meeting last month or earlier this month. It was short and sweet.
Awesome. Okay, communications. Do we have any written communications from public? Nope. Comments from monthly representatives?
Good evening, I'm Dee Lickens, President of the Teachers Association. Good evening, board, staff, anybody out in the audience. A couple of items to address tonight. First of all, I hope that the new purchase that just got approved tonight for the servers will hopefully prevent the impacts such as on that day on February 4th when power outages meant that we had a lot of outages, like classroom to classroom, phone communication, and the internet for teachers to plan their lessons. And we've gotten to the point where we count on the internet a lot in our instructional strategies. So hopefully this will help address those issues, because it was certainly a challenging day that day, as some of us were in the dark. But we all made it work, and I do believe it was the right thing to do to bring kids to our schools whenever we can. The district is currently working on a workplace violence prevention plan. YCTA welcomes this new impact of state law. This board will have to approve that plan by July 1st. We look forward to the transparency that this will bring, as the district will need to maintain an incident log of both acts of violence and threats of violence. We'll have to increase our training for that. Unfortunately, working in the public sector school classrooms, safety is never something we take for granted anymore. Too many news stories that make you a little unnerved. In addition to the violence proposed against teachers and staff at schools, there's also the student-on-student violence and the bullying that occurs between our students. It is our hope that we are always working on everything we can do to make our schools a safe place for students and staff. So we look forward to all of that work together. As part of that work together, Heather Fee, YCTA Vice President, and longtime teacher in Yuba City Unified, accompanied Tito and a team to Oregon to check out a program to deal with basically alternatives to suspension and expulsion. We all know that suspension, when we send students home, isn't really the best way of changing student behavior. And ultimately our goal in student discipline is to change student behavior, to make students better students in our classrooms. So we know that alternative to suspension and expulsion are always preferable. So we look forward to the work that the team will continue to do as we explore ways to better address the needs of our students. This includes the use of our reset rooms. Yuba City High School, it's known as the Gold Room. It's got different names in different places, but it is an alternative to sending a student home. And the goal is that we're always here to educate our students and help them learn better behaviors. I do want to address impacts on our enrollment. I got a postcard this week, 2 actually, addressed to me exactly the same way, which is kind of weird, from Aerostem Academy. They were actively recruiting my children. Now, of course, those of you who know me for a while, my children have been gone for a little while. I do have a step-grandchild that will be going to school in King Avenue in 4 years or so. It's a little unnerving to know that somebody's out there trying to recruit our kids away from our local public schools. I understand that they offer a specialized program, but I want to make sure our students stay in our schools. And then finally, I'd like to recognize a couple of folks leaving us this year. Tonight, you took action on the retirement of Arturo Moreno. Arturo Moreno has been with the district since 2010. Arturo has built an amazing program to allow our students to gain career and technical skills that they can take with them for immediate employment when they leave our schools, or to just repair dad's car. It is amazing that we have these programs and we've made an emphasis on career and technical education, and that the state is asking us to do so as well. Arturo will be missed. And we hope that the district will be able to find a suitable replacement to continue to build that auto program at our high school. And then I'd like to recognize Teresa Patterson. Teresa Patterson is a kindergarten teacher at King Avenue. King Avenue is a special place. Our students come to King Avenue with a great deal of trauma, and especially when it comes time to start their school experience in kindergarten. Teresa's been a steady presence at the King Avenue kindergarten program since 1997. And finally, I'd like to recognize the resignation you accepted tonight of Nick Monroe. Nick Monroe is a mentor to many PE teachers. Matter of fact, I just had a conversation with one tonight who remembered fondly, Nick was my mentor. It was great. I could call him at any time and get quick answers. I watched Nick teach elementary PE. It's amazing what he can do with 2 class loads worth of kids and a bunch of hula hoops. The fact that this district has invested in elementary PE is to the advantage of our students. It brings PE specialists to our students. Because teaching PE kind of looks appealing when I go no papers to grade, but then when I think about teaching PE, I go, oh, thank goodness we have PE teachers. So I appreciate that Nick Monroe was chosen to move on to adult.
Volusia County is going to be doing all
adults. I know, I'm like, wow. But he has been amazing at Yuba City Unified, so I thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you. Comments from board members? I have one. I attended a meeting at the county office today, and since we have prom that's coming up this weekend, they do have some vouchers that I'm sure that Superintendent Sweeney will pass on to the principals in the high schools. If there's any kiddos that are in need of getting their hair done, then we can pass that along, and we can have their hair done for free through the county office of ed and their CTE.
My thought is I'd pick up some vouchers and deliver them to both schools.
Yeah, awesome. That's all I have. Comments from superintendent?
Yes, you received an invitation from a teacher at Memphis for the Velveteen Rabbit performance, which will be held May 8th, 9th, and 10th. I believe at 6 o'clock in their multi-purpose room. If you have not had an opportunity to see the performances at Memphis, I would encourage you to attend. The kids do a great job. The other thing is, if you have an opportunity also to go out and see our student athletes, I was out at the track and field, the River Valley YC track and field meet, and our kids are fast, fast and able to run long distances and jumping. And so hearing about how well they're doing, and then there's our baseball games, and we've got softball. And our girls have been doing really well on the softball field. So if you have an opportunity to go see our student athletes, I would encourage you to see them. They're pretty spectacular.
There were softball games going on when I was on my way to the
There you go.
meeting tonight.
Yeah. That is it.
Okay, next board meeting is May 14th. Open session starts at 7. Can I put a motion to adjourn?
So moved. I'll second.
A motion by member Orozco, second by member Pretty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.